Hi everybody, my name is Christina and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about something that I feel really passionate about, and it's actually something that's pretty popular and we hear a lot about, which is why it actually prompted me to talk about it today. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw a reel about the stats on how many people have a passport and how many people travel. I don't know if it's because of like the political climate that people that are kind of more closed-minded don't have a passport. I think that that definitely goes hand in hand with the less you see, the less you know, the more you're afraid of any shifts or any changes or things like that because you don't know, right? And change can be scary. And just as a human, change is definitely something that we resist. When I was younger, I grew up in a really small town, which I love, kind of like a horse town, cow town, and we really liked our farm animals. But back in the day, I was just this little teeny girl. I make a joke that I'm like a girl from the ranch, but really I am a girl from the ranch. I wanted more. I just knew it in my soul. And I know that a lot of you who will watch this channel have that, and hopefully you resonate with that when something in you wants more. I was in college at the time and I decided to study abroad. And what I didn't know is that financial aid, if you qualify for financial aid, a lot of it gets paid for. I ended up being able to study abroad, and it was basically almost all covered through financial aid. I went out for 3 months, and that is actually where I met my best friends, like my best college friends. And we just lived, what people say our best lives for 3 months. And we really had some eye-opening experiences. And I really got this, I guess, little insight into the fact that there is a whole new world and so much more opportunity out there. And it's not just the people I know, it's not just my neighbors, it's not the people that I went to school with, it's not just horseback riding down to the river bottom. Again, I love that, and forever I will love that, but there's more out there. Funds ran out very quickly. I thought I was going to be out there for 2 years. I ended up having to come back sooner and I wasn't able to graduate. But that's another story. Still get something out of that because that's how life is. Honestly, things that seem like a mistake end up being like a positive thing anyway, a net positive. So I came back, I didn't graduate, but I was out there for a really long time. And again, I met people from all over the world, all different walks of life, and these incredible experiences that every time more and more open my eyes to what an amazing world we have out there. And it's not just the people that we surround ourselves with, because we, again, like, what opportunities would I have if we kind of are all in the same walks of life? We all grew up together, we all even know each other's stories. But no, when you're out there and you see more and you see people even from different financial situations, and you think, wow, all of the kids that I went to school with the second time around most of them were very wealthy because, they weren't there with financial aid. Other countries don't work that way. You just really got to meet people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different everything. And it just, again, like, opened my eyes. Whoa, like, I want this, right? More time, a summer, my girlfriends and I decided the girlfriends that I had gone to in college the first time around, well, we all had friends of our own, like different little clusters of friendships. And I ended up going with one of my old friends, and I invited like friends of friends. It wasn't even the original group, it was like friends of friends, and we all got together and we were able to rent an apartment through Airbnb. We were able to rent an apartment, and we ended up staying out there for the summer, and just, there was no school, nothing. It was just a great time. And you really learn to problem solve. You learn this immense confidence that truly there is nothing that replicates it, because even though you are like having a good time when you're young, things happen. One of my friends was hospitalized. We got in like this like accident. Your train leaves. I remember I was out there and like the train just completely stopped at like 10 p.m. and everybody needs to get off, like for some reason that obviously we didn't know was going to happen, and now we were stuck. elsewhere, and it just seems scary. But when you realize you can navigate these things and it's not that big a deal, then you come back into your life and you realize that your brain literally, quite literally, did expand, and you got new brain waves, and now you know how to problem solve in a different way that is not just this freak out situation. Even to say, one of the girls that we had traveled with the first time, she was so annoyed about the air conditioning situation, about the washing machine situations, and all these things that we can tell make us very American because we are very privileged with everything that we have, and just how everything is so convenient. And those things become just like, yes, they are very nice to have. It's a convenience, but there's a trade-off. And other people are living life in a very different way. And Tuesday is like a Friday summer evening in the US is a Tuesday, honestly, in probably all of Europe or all of Mexico. So I just think and it's not just the party scene, it is everything. It is seeing and getting a glimpse into other ways of living that isn't just so, my way is the right way. You love people from different cultures. You are more accepting. You become an all around, well rounded person, and you're more cultured. And I think I see it through myself. My personal experience was that I was confident. I was a confident person, but I was inhibited because I knew, oh, well, I don't have money. I don't really have education. I don't really know much. Whatever. And now even the way that I eat, that your etiquette changes because you start you're in a table and you're like, oh, that's how they're doing it. And you eat differently. I actually kind of pride myself in the way that I eat slowly because I don't need to rush every meal. Not everything has to be like a hurry, a speed thing, like we kind of see here and experience here. And you see other people and the way that they live and the way that the example I gave, even eat, and it just changes a lot of stuff. That's one of the biggest takeaways for me, is that, yeah, I am not as wealthy maybe as those kids, especially like their parents, but it gave me a want to, and now to think like, oh, the silly ranch girl, the little ranch girl, now to be like, oh, I'm a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire, for sure, multi-millionaire. And that shift, that mental shift, I can only say was from, I can attest to the fact that those experiences changed me. They expanded my mind and they gave me hope for more. And if I can say one thing that really changed everything, was traveling for me. And I've been back multiple times on vacation, and I could say it is not the same. You operate differently when you're on vacation. You don't walk, you are not like, okay, this and this, like, it's not like I have a to-do list, I have to do this. Like, you're not living. You're more like, oh, we have this museum booked, we have this restaurant, this really nice restaurant booked, we have these cute outfits set up. It's not the same. You are not traveling on a vacation. I want you to make it possible for yourself to pick up and go. Go for over a month. It changes the way you see things, and you see the way of living differently. Now you'll see a tourist and you'll be like, oh my God, that person's a tourist. They're here for 10 days or whatever. Meanwhile, you're there for a few months. So I know that this is crazy to say because, maybe times are tough, but realistically, if you don't have a lot of responsibilities right now, maybe you're still living with your parents, which we see a lot of people are still in that situation. If you're still living with your parents, then book the flight. It's not that expensive. It is, but it's not a second job or a little gig that can't get you there. And get the Airbnb, get a few people together. Maybe you rent it out together. You go out for, let's say, like even Mexico City, and you go for 2 months. And the cost will actually be lower than if you are over here in the States. So I know I'm not talking to a person that has multiple children, and even then it can be done. It really can. It's much more simple than what you would think. But let's just say you are in your early 20s and you're with your parents, or you even have like some roommates and stuff. You can set some money aside to where you can literally make it happen in both areas if you take the next 6 months to be like, okay, I'm really gonna power through this. I'm gonna get a second gig. I'm gonna go ahead and try to save money, and I'm gonna do this. And my best friend can't, but you know what? My best friend's friend, or my best friend's cousin, actually is interested, and I'm gonna rally them together, and I'm gonna do this. And I've rallied people together to do this before, and I've also, the time that I went with my best friends, with the best friends, acquaintances, and things like that, was because my friend, the one that I kind of grew up with, she was the one that invited me first, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And I got some other people together, and we were able to split that cost. And once you're there, you realize, hey, coffee is actually $1 here instead of the $6 I pay back at home. Hey, and I know that it's hard on the people that live out there, because then we kind of put things upside down for them. But I'm not going to get into all of the things, and there's always pros and cons to everything. So I know it's tough, and there's other, things that kind of domino effect into that. But I'm just saying, for you, going out there for 3 months, and if you need to shake something up, if you feel in your heart that you're missing something, I feel like nothing awakes an idea, a feeling, a decision making experience like going and living somewhere else, and you become this other person. The shackles that hold you back home completely disappear. It's just incredible. I don't know what happens, but the inhibitions, even the way that I dress, the way that I do my hair, I think I just started wearing also like less makeup when I started traveling more, because I realized that beauty looks different everywhere else. So just embrace your own. I feel like I quickly sat down to do this video because, like I've mentioned before, I do have an infant, so I'm going to work around his schedule. But that's like another reason why I'm making this video. You are only going to be this free right now. Things will have you settle down, and you'll be experiencing life in a different way, and you'll love it that way as well. But right now, if you can, go out and have the fun, have the experiences. When I decided to live abroad, I learned charcuterie, and that's actually my business, right? So I had spent about $80,000. This is another story, so I don't want to get too into it, but I spent $80,000, getting my degree out there, and I ended up not doing anything with it. So I came back and I started my business that had to do with like wine and hosting and charcuterie and cheese and cold cuts, like the salamis, and that ended up making me, I was able to pay off that debt within the first year, and then every year after that just boomed. So what seemed like a mistake was actually just such a huge blessing that I also got from traveling. So not just who I was, how I'm proud of who I am now, because I feel cultured, I feel like smarter, and it gave me this amazing career. It's just so many positive things that happened from it. The friendships that I built, the lifelong friendships that I built, nothing can bring you closer than just all being away. And God, it is just such a beautiful thing. I can't rave enough about it. I think I've touched base, but literally I just wanted to hop on here and tell you guys all of the things that helped me grow. And I can't talk about anything more before I tell you about what living abroad does for you. So if you're thinking about it, comment. I can do a whole video on how to do it, the logistical way on how to get it done. I'm happy to share that. I try to convince people all the time. Like, I know a set of, I think it's like 3 cousins. They have the means for it, and they have the time, and they're young, and it's just a shame that they wouldn't take this opportunity, because life gives you opportunities, but they're not there forever. So if you'd like to know the logistics, or if you have any other questions, I wish I could help you. Let me know if there's anything I can do, guide you in the right direction. But if you do study abroad, you don't have to do it through school. You could do it on your own. Let me know, and I hope that it does for you what it did for me. So thank you very much, and take care. See you next time. Bye.